Hey everybody, Rebel Smith here with Mountain Bush Crafters Alliance. Today I want to be talking about up and coming spring beard competitions, the criteria, the pros and cons, things that you may or may not know that could surprise you, so stick around and find out. Before we get started, I'm not a hair care specialist, and I'm not trying to pretend or assume the role of a professional. I simply know what works for me, and what works for me, that's what I'm going to stick with. And I advise you to do the same. But I want to talk to you about spring beard competitions, pros and cons of entering a competition. Some of the categories vary from competition to competition. Some of the rules and regulations. Some people start out just growing a beard and realize they have the genetics maybe to compete in certain categories. Now, not every category is offered in every beard competition depending on where you're going. But the categories are, in some areas, common, such as mutton chops, just mustache only. You've got the goatee. You've got stubble. You've got groomed, ungroomed. You've got length natural and length pulled or length stretched. Overall health and creative style. Now, when you get into creative style, if you're going into a competition as a lumberjack, you need to be in full form. You need to be on point. If you're going as a Viking, you need to be in full form, on point. Or you could simply be representing your area, your heritage. But nevertheless, the pros of entering into a competition is a lot of times it's money, it's sponsorship, and it's a lot of beer. That's the pros, and you get to hang out with some of the coolest people on the planet. Because they're just like you, they get stared at just like you do at some point or another. But the bearded community is a community set aside all its own. Now, let's talk about the cons to entering a beard competition. If you win that title, you'll need to defend that title. If it's in that general area, or if it's worldwide, or if it's national, you'll have to defend that title. That's the way it is. That's like with any sport or any competition. If you win a title, whether it's local, you need to defend that local title. If it's statewide or nationwide, you need to defend that title. And it is possible. I'm telling you, it is possible. I've seen it done countless times. Now, that is the pros and cons of entering a beard competition. Now, like I said, I think I said before, some people start out just growing a beard and realize they have the genetics and the wherewithal to compete. And it depends upon you. Travel. There's a lot of things that go along with beard competitions. Start out local in your area. Represent. Go in full form. Go in point. Enter one if it's just the stubble category. Get in there. Get noticed. and continue to grow if you can, if you at all possibly are able to, and move forward. Now, let's talk about the judges. The regulation judges consist, very seldom is there ever a showdown round. Very seldom. I think I've seen one. That's a tie. Judges are odd numbers, 3, 5, 7. That's your judges. That's the judge criteria. Depending on the state, depending on the regulation of the rules, points are given and points can be taken away. Whether it's an unhealthy beard, whether it's you enter a category and you don't meet the criteria, they can pull points away as other judges give you points for certain reasons. Say your costume is on point, but your style is not on point. Your beard is not on point. They can remove and take away as they so very well please to do. Now, if you don't like your beard being touched, beard competitions are simply not for you. They check for health, they check length, they check the overall style. It's an awesome way to get out into the bearded community if you beard, to support your bearded community, to maybe win. Everybody gets a certificate for entering, but there's first, second, and third place only, and the title is the first place. Like I said, monetary value, sponsorships, a lot of things go along depending on. Now that's depending on if you're local or nationwide, continental, intercontinental. Regardless of where you are, that is the dividends of winning the competition. Okay, now let's talk about length. You're wanting to enter a certain category. Like I said, there's stubble, there's goatee, there's mutton chop, there's length, full length, there's natural, there's styled. You've got less than 3 months to enter a spring beard competition. The average facial hair grows about a half inch, maybe just a little bit more, just a fraction more than a half inch a month. So, having said that, you wouldn't want to go into a full-length competition or attempt to go in. They won't allow it, first of all, but you wouldn't want to go in expecting to win with my beard in a full-length competition, because I feel like my beard is not full-length ready. It used to be longer than this, and now the judges may see otherwise, but as for me, I wouldn't enter a full-length competition. Now, when you're measuring the beard, people ask this question to me a lot. How do you measure your beard? Where does your face begin? Where does it end? If you want to go natural length, you always measure from the lower lip down, which is roughly right where my thumb is, about right there. So I'm 13 inches natural length. Now, let's bump that up a little bit, because I know it's going to be longer than 13. Gather and pull. Complete full length from the lower lip now, from the lower lip. That's where your face starts. I'm 16 inches in length from the lower lip. That's how you measure. Your face starts here. You never measure from the side. Never measure from the bottom of the chin, because your hair begins to grow. That's where you measure. From where the hair begins to grow here to the full length. That's how you measure your beard. So I'm 16 inches healthy. I'm going to continue on the same path that I'm on. I'm not going to change anything about my routine. Nevertheless, that is the spring beard competition in April. If there's one in your area, they have fall competitions as well in my area. But try to find you a beard competition. Get in if it's just stash only, stubble, goatee, mutton chop, full length, styled, unstyled. And like I said, if you want to go creative style, full on creative style, be on point with what you're doing. If you're going as a lumberjack, like I said, or a Viking, or a Scottish soldier, or whatever you decide to do, be on point with your costume, be on point with your style. I've got a stylist, and she's beyond fantastic. And hopefully she'll be with me. Now, that's how you enter into and what to expect. Just a little fraction now. I'm not a professional, but that is just a fraction of some of the things you can look for in a beard competition. An awesome trophy, monetary value, sponsorship, and move forward. Local, then continue to grow, continue to spread out, hit these beard competitions. For a night of fun, laughter, and hanging out with the bearded community, you don't want to pass the opportunity up. I passed up 2 opportunities, one out in Connecticut and one in Maine, and I'm assured not to pass up any more when I feel like my beard is competition ready. I want it to be competition ready. I want that confidence in myself that I have full length of healthy beard. But nevertheless, I appreciate you sticking around, appreciate you watching, all your support. There's going to be more of these videos. We're going to do styling videos. We're going to go in depth into a lot more of Bearding 101. This is Roland Smith, Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. I appreciate you watching, appreciate everything that you do for me and my channel, my family. Go farther, stay longer. Hey, I'll catch you on the next one.